Hey everybody, I'm going to talk about unboxing baseballs today. It's a math lesson for our Bridges unit. Still in Unit 1, Module 1, and we are going to be talking a lot about volume and length, width, depth, surface area. Some kind of high things here today, but I think that you'll hopefully see how it works pretty well once we get going with it. So I'm presenting my screen here. I'd like to present the activity here. We're going to talk about something that'll take 2 days at least, and it has to do with Brad and baseballs. So you can see the picture there. Apparently this kid has won many, many championships. I don't know how old this kid is. Maybe he's the oldest 11-year-old on the planet. I have no idea. But by the time I was in 5th grade, I hadn't won any championships. I know we'd played. One year we were really good, but I wouldn't have this many. I wouldn't have the amount of baseballs he has. Anyway, Brad always loved playing baseball. He turned his passion into an online business that sells personalized baseballs with hand stitching and the colors of the teams that are ordering the baseballs. His business is doing well, and he needs to decide how to package his baseballs because people are starting to order a dozen, 2 dozen, or even more than that at a time. Well, he could just put a bunch of baseballs in a bag and then put the bag in a box, like one of those Cub bags, but that might be a problem. I don't know if you remember, I have a box of baseballs because I'm a baseball coach. This is just, let me center it here. This is just one box, and inside, if I were to open this up, you would find 12 baseballs. See that? 4 across by 3. 4 by 3. It's like 4 times 3, so you get 12. All right? Now, if I order baseballs, I get this box and 9 more in a bigger box for a total of 10. So I get 10 boxes of 12. Okay? 10 boxes of 12 in a really big box. And they call that a case. So in your head, you probably can figure out how many baseballs come in a case. A case has 10 boxes, and a box has 12 baseballs. All right? Now, there are, diamonds. Those are pretty popular baseballs. But the Major League Baseball folks, they use what are called Rawlings. These are Major League Baseballs. And I got these because of coaching high school baseball and working with all-star teams and stuff, and then hanging around Target Field. They come in little boxes inside a bigger box. And if I opened up the little boxes, inside this little box, which has that Major League, boy, I'm going backwards here, has that Major League hologram deal. Inside there is a little itty bitty baseball wrapped up in paper, ready to be used by Jose Barrios or Rich Hill or Michael Pineda or Jake Odorizzi, Miguel Sano, Byron Buxton, guys like that. And the baseball looks like this. Actually, I've had this out. This is a baseball from the 2014 All-Star game at Target Field. So all these baseballs came from the All-Star game at Target Field, which is pretty cool. Now, there's 12 in a box. Okay? And there's 10 of these in a case. Same as the diamonds that I showed you before. All right? Now, time to go full screen again. These boxes are different. There's 72 in that one, but that doesn't look like mine. It doesn't look like a 4x3. There's 100 in this one. I wonder how you fit 100. I wonder what the dimensions of that box have to be. He has striped baseballs, plain baseballs, blue bombers, buzzing, spinning, floating, etc. Okay? All right. So since we don't have Omnifix cubes, those Omnifix cubes are supposed to represent like that little box I just showed you, the All-Star Baseball, All-Star Game baseballs. But since I don't have those, How many ways can Brad package the baseballs if each ball is put into its own box and then 12 of them are put together to ship in a single layer? We have talked about 4x3, a row of 4 with 3 columns. Okay, it could be 6x2. It could be one long row of 12. Don't you think? What if we had multiple layers? If you had one long row of 12 and then you stack them, that'd be interesting. All right, so we're going to be working in coming days and have a discussion about some of the things that we need to understand and some terminology. But I'm going to have you think about the boxes that we'll be using. Those boxes are called rectangular prisms. They're three-dimensional shapes. They're not flat. They're 3D. They have a length, a width, and a height. Okay? Some of those boxes, like this first box that's here, this might be like the case where you have 10 in them. This is pretty long and flat. This one's a little bit higher. This one, I don't know, maybe it's half that. I don't know. But the dimensions are length times width times height. The base is the bottom layer. And the base of 1 cube by 4 cubes by 3 cubes, or 4 by 3, is 12. The base is 12. If you multiply it by the height, you can figure things out. 1 times 4 times 3. That's like that base put on end. Okay? So that base can be flat or it can be put on its side. This could be laid down flat, 1 by 2 by 6, or put on its side. Hold up the 1 by 4 by 3, or you can build one right now. What do you notice? Well, of course, it is a prism. It's three-dimensional. And there are 12 units, 12 baseballs within that shape. Brad's customers most often order 24 baseballs. Your task is to use the cubes to build models of all different ways that 24 cubic boxes could be arranged. And Brad needs to think about the kind of boxes he wants to use to package those. So, if you have paper at home, I want you to sketch out ways that you would be able to get 24 baseballs in a box. I want you to organize them so that you can tell me what the length, the width, and the height is, labeling those. And then if you don't have enough cubes, don't worry about it. I'm going to show you a little cool website that has cubes in a moment. Now, I'm not going to be able to collect your papers for discussion because I can't reach through the computer screen. But could you think of some strategies that allowed you to find different ways Brad could arrange 24 cubic boxes? And then if you want to turn and talk to the window or a dog or your orange juice on your desk or whatever, go right ahead. All right, so I'm going to get out of this and I'm going to show you the cube page. All right, right here on my cursor, you will see a box that's basically been flattened. It's been kind of rolled up. And over here, I've already entered 4 by 3 with the height of 5. Okay, 4 by 3 because we had the baseballs 4 by 3. Remember that? I'll show you again. 4 by 3. Okay, 4 by 3. All right, and remember, these are inside those little boxes. They're wrapped up with little paper to be all fancy and ready to use so they can get hit out of the ballpark. Well, anyway, let me start with our first layer. There is a baseball box. There's another. And there's another. And there's another. Another. I have just put in all the little baseball boxes into a layer. There's another layer. There's a third layer. But remember, my height is 5. So now I'm going to try something different. I like this row thing. A row of 4, a row of 4, a row of 4, and another layer. Now, I have 12 cubes on each layer. I have 3 rows of 4, okay? And if I were to count all these up, I could count them by just doing this and then physically going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And 12 plus 12 is 24. 24 plus 12 is 36. 36 plus 12 is 48. Plus 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. This side would fold up against that. This would fold up against that. This would fold up against that side. This would fold up against that fourth side, and this would fit over the top so you could seal it shut. And you're going to get 60 baseballs, 5 layers. What if I wanted to change that? What if I want a box with 10 layers? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? 10 times 12, 120. If I didn't like that, I could take up all your time by doing this. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and so on and so on and so on and so on, so on, so on, so on, so on, so on. Okay. All right, so 4 times 3 is 12 times 10 is 120. That volume is 120. Congratulations. That is correct. Well, thank you. So that's what it looks like with Brad's baseball boxes. That's what this lesson's essentially about, is that you can work with width, depth, height, 3 measures, which allow you to find the volume. And then if you were to take this purple side, the red side, the orange side, the blue side, count those up. And then don't forget, you have a base layer of 12. You have 12 here, and you have 4 by 10, 4 by 10, 3 by 10, 3 by 10, and then another base layer here, because you could basically flip it over on its top. If we were to do all that, we can find the surface area. All right, so let's try that. We have 12 as the base. Okay, let's just set that aside. We have 12 up here. Let's just set that information aside because we have 3-dimensional cubes we're going to work with. So 4 by 10 is 40. 4 by 10 is 40. 40 and 40, 80. Might not hurt to write that down. 3 by 10 is 30, and 3 by 10 is 30. 30 and 30, 60. Might not hurt to write that down. 80 and 60, 140. 140. I know this is really exciting right now, isn't it? Now we're at 140. Let's get back to the base of 12. Add 12 and add another 12. 140 plus 12 is 152. 152 plus 12 is 164. Okay, let's see if we're right. 164. Ding, 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 ding. I forgot my that was easy button. Anyway, this is a neat little thing that allows you to see 3-dimensional shapes. All right, so that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. This is a lesson that we'll be discussing and building upon as we move forward in math. Thank you much for watching.